Hello, my name's Neil.
Hi, Neil.
I am a creator, film director, content creator, photographer. For me, I've always felt stuck where I've always felt that I am earning just enough to pay the bills and that's it. So I need to, it's like I really need to break through that barrier and get to the next stage, the next level of the game, because I think that's where I'm stuck. I'm stuck on that level and I just can't get past it.
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey of having a child?
Where we struggled to conceive. Indy's an IVF baby, and that was insanely tough for me. Even the conceiving part, that was tough, but then the IVF process was even worse because then you had to go into a clinic, then you see your wife taking all these needles every single day just to get her hormones levels up so that she can get eggs extracted. You see her going through all these medical procedures and they're poking and prodding at her, and sometimes I was like, why couldn't it just happen easy?
I see you like being a provider. How hard was it for you wanting to provide? Like, what was going on inside that was taking up your energy to provide at the same time?
I was running 2 cafes at the same time. And one of the reasons why the first round of IVF didn't work is because my wife was working in one of them and I was working in the other. It made us stress, and I think that stress didn't help the pregnancy. And after the first pregnancy, she got out of the first cafe and then it was all me. We're going to do things differently. When she got implanted, no stress with her mum and her sister, and she was just de-stressing, but then I was running 2 cafes simultaneously, and that was a challenge. Yeah, my dad is a workaholic. My dad's a provider. He started working when he was 14. I'm a lot like my dad. Someone calls me and says, hey, are you available that day? You heard me on the phone before. Can you do a night job on Monday night? It's an hour away. Sure, no worries. I don't care about the drive. If it's work, I'll do it. If someone needs me to provide and give value, I will. It's easy for me to say yes because I love what I do. My dad worked when he was at the age of 14 and he hasn't stopped working. My dad has missed out on family occasions and family events, and you name it, he's missed. But when the phone rings, he says yes, and I'm very much the same. But where I feel I don't want to be like my dad is I don't want to miss out.
Growing up, what was your experience with money?
We had enough to get by, but never enough to be something more.
Cool.
Maybe it's my subconscious, maybe it's my programming that I'm like, well, all we need is just enough. Happens every month.
And always managed to find enough.
Again, super grateful that happens. Thank you, universe. But it's getting annoying. Like, I don't want to stress about that shit anymore, man. I want to be in a place where I'm, I want to be in a place where it's just, I know it's going to be okay because I got it.
Cool. Where are you feeling the anxiety when you're saying this?
Just like a knot in my chest.
We're going to do a little bit of acting. So Melbourne Theatre hires Neil because he does this scene of just having enough. You have to train a dweeb like me on exactly how to do this scene. How do you put yourself in that situation in the first place?
I'm not putting myself out there to get me more work. I just get enough.
So step number 1, do you have to create no work?
Very simple. Don't go looking for more work than you already have, because enough's enough. You just got enough. If I get more work, how am I going to keep up with my editing to please the clients that I do have? But if the longer I take to edit, because my process is not the same. My process of editing is not, probably this is the shit that I tell myself. God help me.
Boom. This tone that you're doing it in, who does it sound like?
My dad. He's always got stuff to do. It's just a pattern. And I'm doing the same fucking thing. My dad would work night shift, my mum would work during the day. My dad comes home, tired as hell, goes to sleep during the day, gets up, goes to work at night. My mum goes to work in the morning, comes home at 5, 2 hours, say goodbye to your father, he's gone, mum's home, I only had one parent.
You've got this parasite that lives inside of you. Let's call it the subconscious.
Mm.
And it's not just you. This is the whole population in the world, billions of people.
Mm.
And we continue on doing these behaviors and wondering why we're not happy or we're not successful.
I don't think there's any other way. That's what happens in my mind. I think that, no, you have to hustle and go to work and do your thing, because if you want to make it, this is what you have to do. And so, yeah, but Neil, what about the family time that you want to have more time for and not be like your father? No, there's no time for that. I want that, but there's a conflict of interest. I want that, but I need to be successful. I need to make sure that the family is provided for, so I need to go to work. But then when I'm at work, I'm like, fuck, I'm missing out there because, like, fuck, I'm here. But no, but I love this. So there's always this internal battle in inside me where, I love what I do, but then I'm like, fuck, I'm missing out there, but I don't want to miss out there. Do you know what I mean?
So in a way, like, because I'm sure that there's another way, but why haven't you found a way for this?
I have no fucking idea. That's why I'm talking to you.
Because it's most comforting and it's most familiar to you.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be hard.
But when you're anxious, right, and when you're feeling that worry and fear, you're saying that you've seen failure.
Yep.
What image did you just see then?
Oh, the image of having to tell my wife I don't know where the fuck we're going to get the money for this month's mortgage. The feeling is that, like, my wife is so easygoing. She'd be like, okay, cool, I'll just go do some more shifts. But then that would kill me because I know she has to work harder because I didn't do my fucking job this month.
So step number 1 is you don't go looking for work.
Yep.
Step number 2, you say to yourself, or you've got your dad's internal voice, I've got shit to do at home, I've got a whole list.
Yep.
And then step number 3, you need to feel anxious and feel a knot in your chest, feel worry. You see a moving image of failure, and then you get angry. And then after you get angry, then you go find the money. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need to do steps 2, 3, 4? Why don't you just do number 5? Why don't you just find the money?
I don't know.
Would it be more efficient?
Yeah, because I don't have to feel all that. It's not nice. It sometimes turns me into an angry person, and I don't like me sometimes.
So how would you know, as earlier to your question, is that how do I know if I can be hypnotized? You are skeptical. How do you know if it works for you? How would you know that after this session it's worked for you?
If I lost that anger, 100% this has worked. My father was, when he got angry, mate, you don't want to be in the room.
Can you see yourself in him when you're angry?
Or, I am a splitting image of him. Cool. I am him, but younger.
All right. You ready to be hypnotized?
All right, let's do it.
Cool. You're walking down and down, further and further. And as you see the bottom of the staircase, you're noticing a little boy, your inner child. It's a young version of you. And you ask him, Neil, I want to let go of this anger that I have inside of me. This resentment, this frustration that I have, this short fuse. I want to get rid of the worry and the anxiety. And this young child says, sure, why didn't you tell me earlier? I didn't know. I thought you wanted to keep it because it served you in some way. I thought you wanted to be like Dad. I want you to go to the moment when you felt anger for the first time. And you see your dad. And he's seeing this scene from for the first time. And how it makes you feel. And a part of him is so regretful. As he's watching this scene, he's got a little bit of a tear in his eye. A little bit of a golf ball. Because now he understands the impact that it's had for you. I want you to see what his experience like is with his parents.
My grandfather wasn't a great man. He wasn't a nice man. My grandmother would do her best, but there was always a disconnect between my grandfather and my grandmother. Dad and his brothers and sisters had to go at the age of 14 to work to bring home money for them to live.
And I want you to see, what would a child with that type of upbringing or father, what type of beliefs would he have about himself?
he's probably not good enough. Why does my dad not love me? Why doesn't my dad care?
Yes, that I'm not deserving enough, that life has to be hard, and that I have to work. And I want you to put yourself in the hospital room or wherever you were born. I want you to notice how safe you feel in that. I want you to see how much he loves you, how proud he is of you, that he will go to the ends of earth to serve you and protect you. What I want you to do now, Neil, is I want you to see yourself getting older and older throughout those years. And as life gets harder and as you get older and he gets older, I want you to notice what impact life has on your dad. How familiar and similar it is for you. You know what he's going through, and he knows what you're going through. And if you can hear me, Neil, I want you to wriggle your fingers. Good. Is your dad doing it because he loves you?
Yeah.
In that moment when he's yelling at you, what are you believing about yourself? Are you not understood?
That is one of my biggest frustrations.
Good. And this is where it was born. So I want you to notice in that moment that you feel that you're not being heard or understood, because you're constantly being yelled at. You are not respected. You're not valued. These are all the beliefs that you have about you in that moment. Is that right?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Now that I want you to see it from a different point of view, not through the eyes of a 14-year-old, but I want you to see it through the eyes of you, who you are today, and the experiences that you've had today, and the journey that you've just had and experienced.
Maybe he just didn't want to let me go, because he saw me growing up and he didn't want that to end. He didn't want me to grow up. That's how I feel about Indy.
How do you feel about India?
I don't want her to grow up. I miss her.
Are you feeling that love as well? That you will miss her?
I do.
I want you to feel that same love that your dad has on you in that moment. He just didn't know how to explain it then.
That's exactly him.
Yeah.
He loves me.
He does love you.
He just wants the best for me.
He does want the best for you. Great learning.
He's not that bad.
What is he instead?
He's loving.
He is loving. And in turn, you're loved. What would someone feel around someone who's constantly protecting them?
Safe.
So what are you learning about you in that moment?
I'm always safe.
Do you feel safe in that moment now that you're seeing it from a different perspective?
Of course, if he's looking out for me.
Good. You are safe. I want you to go down into the event, Neil. The moment where you used to feel the old emotion of anger. I want you to notice if it's there, it's gone now.
It's not there anymore.
Is it gone?
You don't feel it anymore.
What are you feeling instead?
Gratitude.
What's the color of gratitude?
For me, it's bright yellow.
I want you to go down into that event, and I want you to see that whole room or that whole space is filled with bright yellow. And I want you to see it glowing. And I want you to hold the hand of the 14-year-old. And I want you to look into his eyes. And it's the moment that you realize that he's also let go of his anger. It's been resolved. And I want you to notice how he feels.
He's smiling.
He is. And I want you to remember that joy that he had as a child. I want you to go into his body, looking through life through his eyes. Now, in that moment, where the anger is resolved and it's gone, I want you to remember how life was. And as he's looking at you, Neil, he's seeing this person like a superhero. He's come out of nowhere, where you've made it right. And he looks at you with so much awe, because you've just solved his problem. A problem that you thought that couldn't be solved. And as you take him up into your timeline and show him his future, I want you to see how bright it looks now. What I want you to do now, Neil, is I want you to take this young boy. I want you to go back to the time when you decided that work had to be hard, that it had to be a grind, and that it could never be simple. I want you to rewind that moment. Sort of like a videotape, like you're going back in a time machine. And just before you decided that, now what are you deciding?
It should be simple. It is simple.
It is simple.
I overcomplicate things.
So what is it now that you've made this new decision?
It's easy, it's not hard.
It is easy.
You can have fun with it.
You can. I want you to notice what it looks like with this new decision. And I want you to see the missed opportunities with the old decision on your left-hand side. I want you to see the old life, the parallel universe that you've been living on your left-hand side with the old decision, what it looks like. Can you notice the difference?
There's no colour.
What color is it?
It's dull.
It is dull. Can you see how hard it is?
Yeah, it's like a rain cloud, always on top of you.
Yeah.
It's cloudy.
Yeah, you needed it to be hard, right? I want you to compare it to the new decision on your right-hand side.
Blue skies.
I want you to notice now the new opportunities with this new decision. And I want you to see how far it goes into the future.
It's bright.
But is it also simpler?
Of course.
Neil, I want you to consider something. What was the benefit for you of your dad being angry and yelling at you?
Made me who I am.
What is the benefit? What did you gain from that moment?
My tenacity.
Yes. And how did you get that tenacity?
From him.
Good. It was from that moment that you gained this gift of tenacity. Life knew where you wanted to go, Neil, and it knew that the road ahead needed for you to be tenacious, to be strong. So it gave you the gift of your dad, of him being angry, and it ran you through those drills because it knew how hard life was going to be ahead. I want you to imagine life without the tenacity, without that grit.
I'd give up way too easy.
This gift that you have of tenacity has saved your ass so many times.
Every time.
And your family. Are you wanting to go back into the old decision on your left-hand side, or are you wanting to go onto the right?
The right.
What I want you to do is I want you to go back into that moment just before. And I want you to see now, is the old decision there or is it gone now?
It's not there anymore. I don't want to see it.
Is it gone?
Yep.
The emotions associated with it too?
Yeah.
Of anger and fear?
I feel peaceful.
Good. I want you to look ahead and I want you to notice all those other moments of anger and fear and worry. Are they there or is it gone now?
It's gone.
Those really hard moments.
There is no hard moments.
Good. I want you to see the new possibilities. The possibilities that you missed from not having this new decision. And what life could look like now with this new possibility. And I want you to notice, now that you're letting go of all the fear and all the anger, how light you feel, how calm you feel, because you don't have this armor, this heavy armor of fear and worry and anger. That you can make calculated decisions easily and effortlessly. I want you to know how simple it can be to make more money. That now it's drawn to you and it's got your back just as much. That it trusts you and you trust it, and the simplicity of it. I want you to let go of all the anger, all the fear and the worry. And when you're ready, Neil, I want you to come back into the room. But before you open your eyes, Neil, you're going to have a sense of calmness. And we've let go of your anger and the fear that you've been holding on to for all these years. I want you to wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. And when I count down from 3 and 2, 1, I want you to open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. That was huge, man.
How long was that?
How long do you reckon it was?
20 minutes.
It's been an hour and 8 minutes.
Shut up. No way. You serious?
Yeah.
I knew my dad was the problem. I'm very much like him. I'm probably very hard on him as much as he was hard on me. And now that I am a father, I never really put myself in that position. Well, he's a father too. And I think you said it very well, because, you know, he didn't have half the things that I have. And he's trying to bring me up in a world where things are changing ever so quickly. If I'm going to give him credit, it was probably much harder to be a parent in his generation than it is for me to be a parent in this generation. I was very independent. So, you know, I was always rebelling. wanting to do it my way, never listening.
What was the biggest aha moment for you?
Yeah, I just think him being a parent. Him trying to parent me like I'm trying to parent my daughter to try and see, teach her the right from wrong, good and bad. How to be a respectful human, how to do things the right way. He didn't know any better.
Didn't.
He didn't have a rule book, and neither do I. We just do the best we can. I feel calmer.
The internal chatter, how does it feel?
Very quiet. Even when we started this, I was thinking while you were talking.
Yes.
I wasn't focused.
And now?
I'm very clear. The fog is lifted, so to speak. It's not cloudy anymore. I really felt that. That was a really intense, new sensation.
How long haven't you felt that quietness in
I haven't felt quiet in a very long time, okay?
You've constantly had racy thoughts, and now, compared to now, what is it like in there?
I honestly cannot tell you the last time I was quiet.
Is this the first experience that you've had? I know that you've had other coaches, other mentors, had other experiences, had other personal development stuff. Have you ever reached this point?
No. I've sat there and done meditation and stuff like that. I've either fallen asleep or I have always thought about other things during the session. I've never been present.
Now with this level of presence and clarity, where do you see your day-to-day, your experience of life as a father, as a businessman?
I think it's just going to really help me with my focus, my day-to-day focus. The things that I choose to do on a daily basis is going to be a lot more specific as opposed to a lot more, look at the things that I have on my things to do list. Look how busy I am. I'd rather be more efficient and busy now.
Earlier on, you were the best at just getting enough to get by. And you did this scene quite well. Can you tell me again how to do it?
I think I was frustrated. I wasn't at the same. No, I don't know. This is weird.
You were the best at it.
What?
Let me do one better.
What?
Let me read it back to you. Step 1 is you don't go looking for work.
Okay.
Step 2 is that you need to have an internal voice that is your dad saying, I've got shit to do. I've got shit to do at home. Playing in your dad's tone.
Yeah.
Step number 3 is that I need to feel anxious. I need to have a knot in my stomach. Step number 4 is that I need to see failure. And when I see failure, I get angry and I short fuse. And then step number 5 is that then you go find the money.
Really? Did I say that? Did I actually say that out loud?
Let's go one on top.
Ugh.
Can you try and do anger? With that same short fuse when you see failure? Can you go when you see failure? You said that when you see failure, you get angry.
Yeah.
Can you do the same anger?
I just don't see anger anymore. I don't see it. I don't feel it.
Cool.
Fucking blank, dude. Wow. It's actually unnecessary, eh?
You can't feel that same anger. You said that if you do this, you couldn't even remember this.
No, legitimately, I couldn't remember it.
You couldn't remember it?
I couldn't remember
But then even when I went over it with you, it seemed silly.
Very
and
silly.
then when I tried to remind you of how to feel that same emotion, that same trigger, you couldn't do it. Now.
No.
So have you been hypnotized?
Wow. Yeah, I guess I did.
Are you
didn't
the
I?
same person?
No, I don't think I am. I think there's something that shifted in me. I do have to say, though, I have never been present like I have been with any one of my coaches. Like I was actually following along with the questions that you were asking. That true deep presence,
Yes.
I was there.
Yeah.
And I think that is definitely hypnotic.
This is the Boktor Method.
I was waiting for the punchline. Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool, man. That's really, really cool. Yeah.
Real transformation, not wishy-washy.
Yeah, that's
This is tangible, man.
You're onto something here, dude. I really don't feel what I started out feeling.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like, I'm freaking myself out. So that's why, like, it'll be interesting. I don't want to tell Angie any of this because I want her to see if there is a difference without me telling her, oh, I did this and I felt this and it's gone. And I want to see how this progresses naturally.
What I want you to do,
with the
instead of
girls.
telling her, I want you to take ownership and responsibility. Just how you would have liked your dad to come and say to you, hey, I fucked up. I know that I fucked up. And I want to take responsibility. I want to say I'm sorry. Do that, and your whole world will be shifted. So individually, I want you to go to Ange and say, hey, I know I've been this person who was angry, and I want you to tell. I want to tell you that I'm sorry. And there's probably a better way of doing it. And I want you to see the look in your eyes when you say that. I want you to do the same thing to your daughter as well, because then your daughter can let go of that.
Yeah.
Because if you had that when you were younger, that would have meant the world to you.
Yeah.
At that moment when you're yelling, you're also being a child, because it's that 14-year-old boy that is controlling you in that moment.
Correct.
So we've got a whole world full of people who are controlled by their inner child.
Wow.
But this is my life's purpose. It's showing them and like uncovering this subconscious truth.
That's really, really cool, man. I don't say that lightly. I get it. It's not 1, 2, 3, click, and now whenever you hear the word dolphin, you're going to... That is not... that's what people perceive hypnosis to be.
This is show hypnosis, and half of that is not... It's probably not even true.
I find this to be more of a meditative hypnosis where it's just like you really need to focus deep and go with where you're taking us. And I think if you do that, you get the best results.
This is advanced hypnosis. This isn't like your normal hypnosis.
Yeah.
I integrated all these other methods to give you this power today.
Thank you very much.
Hey, no worries, brother.
I really appreciate it.
No worries. Give me a hug.
Not only have I felt less pressure in actually getting tasks done, daily tasks done, I'm actually getting tasks done as well. It's imposter syndrome. I feel like that has diminished a lot. I feel less pressure to perform and actually get jobs done. So I'm actually getting jobs done a lot faster, a lot better. My workflow and productivity has improved, and this is only 7 days. Instead of procrastinating and waiting for the right moment, etc., I've just now gone, right, this is the task, this is what I need to do, and I've just gone and done it. So I don't feel that blockage anymore. I don't feel that I am restricted by my own thoughts. I feel and think differently. There's no other reason why I am feeling so good and not experiencing and feeling blockages and actually being productive in my business.